The instant Scarlett Taylor's hand touched my mailbox, time just about froze. Then came this crackling zap, a blue flash, and next thing you know, the mighty HOA president of Maple Creek Lane jumps backward like she grabbed a live rattlesnake. Her scream cut through the morning so loud, I'm pretty sure it startled every neighbor for half a block. You know that sound when someone's pride takes a beating and their body just follows suit? That was it. She's shaking her hand, eyes wide, hair all puffed up from static, glaring at my mailbox like it just bit her on purpose. I stood behind my window with coffee in hand and muttered, "Lesson delivered." Because for months, Scarlett had been stealing my mail, confident, sneaky, thinking she was untouchable, all under the nose of the neighborhood she supposedly protected. But let me back up a sec, because this whole mess, well, it wasn't just about stolen bills or HOA rules. Turns out Scarlett wasn't even stealing at random. Nah, she had a whole plan wrapped up in old grudges and some deeply personal HOA drama. So before I get to the best part, the day Scarlett turned into the world's most electrified gossip headline, drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from, because trust me, this story's about to light up your whole morning. See, 8 months before the incident, I'd finally landed what I thought was a peaceful life. I'd been freelancing for years, cramped apartments, sticky tables at coffee shops, saving every dime till I could finally buy this little 2-story colonial on Maple Creek. Big maple tree out front, white fence, and this classic mailbox that just screamed Norman Rockwell. For a while, life felt like it should quiet, comfortable, predictable in a way that let me relax for the first time in forever. Mornings, I'd sit on the porch with fresh coffee, wave at joggers, maybe pretend suburban life wasn't just a bunch of folks out politing each other. Mail truck always right on time, paychecks, Amazon boxes, you know, the good stuff. But then one day, the mail started disappearing. First, it was just flyers, coupon stuff you wish somebody would steal, honestly. But then my bank statement vanished, my insurance renewal letter didn't show up, and one day my tax forms, those ugly, important IRS envelopes, just straight up disappeared. Losing one letter. That's a fluke. But 5. That's sabotage. I did my due diligence, filed missing mail reports, called the post office. Linda on the other end, bored out of her mind, says everything was delivered to my exact address. Then either my mailbox is a portal or someone's stealing my mail, I joked. She laughed and hung up before I could even ask about security footage. But then the late bills rolled in. A missed payment fee from the credit card company, a furious call from my biggest client, 50 grand on the line lost because someone swiped the contract before I could sign it. That night, sitting at my desk, watching my empty mailbox, I knew something was off, the kind of wrongness that just buzzes in your teeth. Next day, I brought it up with Helen, my neighbor, the unofficial historian of our street. She leans in close and says, "Scarlett's been checking mailboxes lately, says it's part of her HOA patrols." Scarlett Taylor, the pastel blazer queen herself, president for life if you believe the rumors. She fines people $50 if their garbage cans are out too long. Got a landscaper fired once for trimming her hedges at the wrong angle. Treats bylaws like the 10 Commandments and everyone else like sinners. But I needed proof, so I did what any half-paranoid adult does these days. I put a camera in a birdhouse beside the mailbox. 3 days, nothing. 4th day, though, there she is. No gloves, no disguise, just Scarlett herself lifting my mailbox lid, cherry-picking the best-looking envelope, strolling away whistling. It became my new ritual: coffee in the morning, mail theft surveillance at night. I started compiling clips, date-stamped, all the evidence stacking up. And when I finally caught her, I figured, all right, time to go confront the queen. I printed out screenshots, her hand halfway into my mailbox, wedding ring clear as day. I knocked on her big white door, flowers lined up like soldiers. She opened up, smiling like she just aced a test she made up herself. I said, "Scarlett, you've been stealing my mail." For a second, her face faltered, then she laughed. Oh, I was just checking for misdelivered letters. Our mailboxes look so similar. Yours is blue. And around the corner, I said. Her husband, Brad golf shirt, face red, steps in, starts barking about harassment and defamation. I have video, I replied. He snapped, HOA doesn't tolerate troublemakers. Door slams. Classic. 2 days later, I get a notice from the HOA unauthorized surveillance equipment visible from public property. I nearly spit out my coffee. Scarlett had weaponized the HOA against me for catching her in the act. That's when something shifted, less anger, more cold creativity. If the system couldn't stop her, I'd build one that could. That's where Marcus comes in. College buddy electrical engineer, and crucially has no moral qualms about teaching lessons with 12 volts and a smile. Together we built the aggressive doorbell, a small circuit in the mailbox powered by a 12V battery, motion triggered with a big loud warning beep and a short sharp zap, totally legal, non-lethal, and above all educational. We even added a manual disarm switch for the mail carrier just in case. Posted a sign too, property protected, do not touch, electric deterrent installed, subtle. Not really, effective. Oh, you bet. And so the trap was set. A few decoy official envelopes, mailbox, freshly cleaned, live camera feed on my laptop, me posted at the window like a suburban sentry. For hours, nothing but the ordinary comings and goings kids biking Mrs. Peterson watering her flowers. Then, late afternoon, Scarlett's white Mercedes glides up. Clipboard in hand, sunglasses gleaming. She walks over, cool as ever, glances left, glances right, slides the mailbox open. She grabs an envelope, hesitates, maybe wondering if she should push her luck. That's when the warning beep goes off. She freezes, looks inside a little puzzled, but then, being Scarlett, she ignores the warning and dives in again. Zap! Her whole body jerks backward like she got yanked by a fishing line. She drops the clipboard flails and howls. Oh man, it was beautiful. Neighbors peeked out, phones came up, someone called out, "You all right there?" as if they didn't want the answer to be no. She storms up my lawn, furious, demanding the police, the HOA, a full public apology, and maybe a parade. I just pointed to the sign. It's right there. Don't touch. She accused me of booby-trapping, endangering the community, assault, said she'd sue, get me kicked out of the neighborhood. I told her, Scarlett, it's 12 volts. My garden lights are deadlier. 10 minutes later, the cops show up. Deputy Harris guy's seen it all. Scarlett launches into her speech about illegal devices, public endangerment, the whole 9 yards. Why were you touching his mailbox, ma'am? He asks. She blusters about community standards. I hand over the footage. Harris plugs it in, watches Scarlett swiping my mail, sees the zap, just chuckles. 12 volts of accountability, I tell him. Scarlett is fuming. Harris tells her, "Ma'am, you're the suspect, and he's in the clear. If you touch that mailbox again, it's a federal offense." She huffs and puffs, threatens to unleash the entire HOA, and storms off, dragging Brad with her. The neighbors. They're grinning, whispering, passing around stories of missing mail, missed birthday cards, all kinds of grievances. That evening, my phone rings. "Mr. White, this is Agent Rogers from the U.S. Postal Inspection Service. We need your footage. Turns out Scarlett's been stealing mail all over the neighborhood for years, pension checks, birthday cards, legal docs, you name it. Next thing I know, black sedans roll up, feds start knocking doors, and Scarlett's perfect world starts crumbling. They find boxes of stolen mail in her house, some of it years old, a spreadsheet with names, dates, even little notes about which residents she targeted. Systematic, organized, pure control freak. Watching her get cuffed and led away, I won't lie, it felt good. But the best part was Mrs. Peterson finding a lost card from her late husband. One last love note. She held it like it was gold, cried right there on her porch, told me, You brought him back to me. That more than anything felt like the real win. Scarlett's arrest made the news. The board held an emergency election. Helen, my wise neighbor, got picked as the new president. First act, cancel all of Scarlett's petty fines. Second act, throw a potluck to celebrate freedom from tyranny. Someone brought a cake shaped like a mailbox with lightning bolts. You can't make this stuff up. A month later, the neighborhood felt lighter. Fewer threats, more block parties, real conversations. Even Brad stopped by suitcase in hand on his way out for good. She thought the HOA made her untouchable, he said, shaking his head. Turns out federal law disagreed. We shook hands, let the past be the past. 6 months on, I got a postcard, no return address, just a photo of a gray building behind a chain-link fence. You ruined my life, but I still think you cheated. Scarlett. I pinned it on my board under a photo of my mailbox, wrote with a Sharpie accountability conducts. Looking back, it wasn't about revenge, it was about boundaries. Boundaries aren't just about property lines, they're about dignity. Real power's not control, it's restraint, knowing when to fight, how to fight, and still holding on to your humanity. If you've ever dealt with a Scarlett, a bully hiding behind rules, don't just sit quiet. Document, persist. And if you've got a little creativity, maybe justice can come with a spark. Now tell me in the comments, have you ever had a Scarlett in your neighborhood? And don't forget to subscribe, because in the world of HOA stories, karma is always just one voltage away.